to Cooperville.
See, Austin's back in. We'll see if we got the audio visual figured out here. Can you hear me now, sir?
I can hear you great now. Hopefully it sticks around.
Awesome, man. Guy's got a cigar. It sounds like you're by a beach.
Yeah, man. Me and the wife and the in-laws, we come to Gulf Shores this week. It's my spring break, so we're off of school and kicking back and relaxing a little bit.
That's beautiful scenery right there, man.
Oh yeah.
So
it's kind of rough though. You got to be careful though. You know, being redheaded, you got to be careful in the sun.
I know, man. You got the it's like Irish roots in you. You know, we that sun hits us, and we just sometimes we can just implode just like that.
Yeah, my wife kind of gets frustrated because I'm a little bit darker than she is, and she says it's my freckles, but I think I actually came pretty good to be redheaded. So
I love it, man. I love it. We were talking about your upbringing, and I was talking about you started singing at a very young age. Like I believe you were 5 or 6 years old, starting to sing in the church choir. Was that when you kind of got the that musical itch to kind of like it just resonated with you from such a young age?
No, not really. See, my grandmama, she drugged me into the church choir.
Oh.
So I was always real timid, man. I would sing with grandmama in the car, and I think my granddaddy, he may have heard me sing maybe 3 times his entire life. So I didn't really start singing until college, man. It's a funny story. I started playing guitar because my roommate at the time, he brought some like $60 cheap Walmart guitar into our trailer we were living in.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I was like, man, I always wanted to learn how to play guitar too. I'll learn with you. And so we started playing it for about 2 or 3 months. And I took on to it a little bit better than he did. I'm not a good guitar player by any means whatsoever. but I took on to it a little bit faster than he did. And so he went and bought or his dad bought a $400 guitar. I think it was an Alvarez.
Mm.
And when he would go to, he was on the ball team too. I played football in college.
Mm.
And when he would be, in his workouts or in his class, and I was at home, I would sneak his guitar out and play it. And one night he brought his girl over and was playing it for her, and I told him, I was like, man, let me see that thing for a second. He could tell. He knew right then I've been playing it. And so he started hiding his guitar from me. So man, I took out $400. Don't tell IRS or anything, but
yeah.
I took out an extra $400 on my student loans and went and bought a guitar at the music store over in Meridian, Mississippi, and started playing it. But my biological dad, I don't know that side of the family that well, but evidently they're very musically talented. From what I've heard, my biological dad can pick up anything and play it in 15 minutes. So that's probably where I get my ability to play guitar from. Now my grandmama, she has the voice of an angel, so I love to sing with grandmama. But yeah, I didn't start doing music heavy until college. And that's a pretty funny story too, how I got started doing shows and stuff.
Yeah, how does one, it's crazy. Everybody's, origin story when it comes to, finding a way into music and having it be something that becomes, a permanent part of your life. Obviously, thank you for, the work that you do during the week. And then it's tough to go and then do music on the weekends. I know you had a big show this past weekend with Creek Fest and I know you got a bunch of dates coming up and things like that, but it's always interesting to hear the story of how you get into it, because sometimes you have people that start at a very young age, like, this is what I want to do, this is my passion, I'm going to music, hell or high water, doesn't matter. But for you having that later start, I mean, there's other talented musicians that have started later in life. Maybe the biggest country artist right now, and Luke Combs, started a little bit later on. He wasn't, coming out the womb playing the guitar. But tell me about getting into doing shows in college and stuff like that. How you go from, borrowing, and I use air quotes, borrowing your roommate's guitar to using some student loan money to doing shows while you're in college.
So I didn't really catch a lot of what you said, man. This internet here is lagging, and of course it could be me, so because I'm on my phone. But just a little bit more about, I guess you asked about my first show in college.
Yeah, doing shows in college. when you were in college doing your first shows when you were in college still. Yep, you're all good, man. It's just
I'm not picking it up, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But
you're all good, man. But
just a little bit more about.
Yeah, we lost him. He's got that beat. It's that beach, man. It's that beach life. It's all good. We'll get Austin back on if he can make it happen. But very very cool stuff. What a guy taking off. He's got vacation. He's next to the beach. Having a cigar, probably looked like he was having a little adult beverage there, which all of a sudden sounds pretty good. But how cool to be able to take some time out to jump on the show and tell his story. It's weird. Everybody's story, introduction to music is always different, and having that kind of that itch that hits you, and sometimes it doesn't hit you until you're in your early 20s. I'm sure when he was in college. And then you just pick it up and you're like, man, I kind of want to do this. All of a sudden you go from learning how to play guitar to learning how to sing to playing shows and kicking ass, taking names, writing songs. I mean, that's just a crazy transition that for some starts at a very young age. Some start, obviously there's successful bands, the kids that are still in their teens. We had Mariah Formica was on last week from Plush, and she just turned 20, and the other girls in Plush are still in their teens. Their drummer's like 16 years old. So you have just like so many different origin stories into how they find their way into music. And it reflects back to what I had Dr. J on yesterday, what Dr. J had said about even in starting business. It's like it's never too late. Like if it's something that you want to do and you want to pursue and you want it to be a part of who you are as a person or be a part of what it is in your life, like it's never too late. So you have people that start at a very young age. I think Mariah was doing voice training after she was like 11. And you got Austin, who was, doing the college thing, playing college ball, and then, guitar sounds kind of cool, and ends up doing that. So super cool story, and hopefully, and I don't want to say today was a total flop, but we'll get Austin back on too, and we'll get his internet connection rocking and rolling, and we'll have him back on to talk about his story and stuff. It's got to be challenging too. I mean, if I'm on a delay to him, he's hearing the question, I'm just sitting here like waiting, and then he's obviously delay getting it back. And if you miss any of the words, it's got to be tough. But we'll get him back on. Ain't no worries. I know where his person is. I know where his agent. I know his agent, and I'll give him a call and be like, hey, just get Austin back on. Fade, I do literally everything with it. That is untrue. That is untrue. We got to get you on the show, Fade. That's the thing, is we got to get you on the show, and I know we got to do it in your special way, because it can't be weird. It's got to be weird. I think that's the caveat, is it has to be weird, and then we can do it. But I'm still waiting, man. Invitation's still open. You got your setup, you got your rig, you're all set to go. So we'll get you on the program sometime very, very soon. And we'll get Austin back on. We'll get Jason Charles Miller back on. And it'll be cool. It'll be fun. Good stuff. Tomorrow on the show, if you follow us on Patreon, if you're one of our patrons, as they call them, who subscribe and get the updates and get exclusive information and all the stuff, if you are a member, if you're not, the link is over in the comments, depending on where you're watching. Join up, because you would already know this. Coming up tomorrow on the program, it's going to be a good one. Going to be a great, insightful conversation with Derek Van Orden, retired Navy SEAL chief, author or actor. He was in Act of Valor, been in a couple other movies as well. Just ran for state senate last October. When was it? No, November, I think it was. It's in November. So he's going to be on the show tomorrow, which is pretty cool. So we'll talk to him. Retired Navy SEAL. Dude went through buds, man. Went through buds. That's my jam. See, we got Austin back on. Looks like he's moving around a little bit and trying to find some better self. There look at this guy. Now we got you. Look at it.
See if I can give you a view too.
That's beautiful. I'm gonna put that. I'm going full screen with that, dude, man. Look at that. Love it, man. No, I think we got.
Yeah, man. It's a.
Go ahead.
You got me?
Yep, got you.
No, you good. Yeah, man, we're here till Thursday, so just trying to soak it all in. they went to a amusement park while I was doing this, so I got a little quiet time.
Nice. You got to enjoy that when you got it. Tell me about Creek Fest this past weekend. Looks like that was had to feel good to get back out and jam in front of some live human beings.
Man, it was awesome. I was telling Angie Greger, you said you were talking to them and the rest of Big Barn, Jeff Brown, and all of them. Everybody was down at Creek Fest. To be out on stage again, man, it was awesome. That's the first time I've been, on a stage that size, with a bigger size crowd like that in over a year. So it took a minute or two to get set in, get used to it again. But once we got rolling, man, the adrenaline started pumping, and there ain't nothing like it. There ain't nothing like it. We were in it for sure.
I was going to say, did it? I want to say feel like the first time, because the first time that you're on a stage obviously has a particular feel. But was it just a sense of relief? Like what was the feeling after? Because I think you probably got to get through a song or two, right, to kind of kick the dust off. Like, oh yeah, this is how being able to move around the stage works a little bit. Like, what was the feeling being back out and in front of people again?
Yeah, it was. There were definitely some nerves. It's my band was fresh. I got a new set of guys, and I mean they're rockers for sure. I wasn't scared about that, but just getting settling in. And then we were one of the earlier sets too, so we didn't really have a sound check, but the sound guys did awesome, man. After the first song, we really got dialed in, and we just started rolling. I mean, it's like I said, it's a different kind of feeling, man, once you get up on stage and you got the crowd singing back to you, and that was really cool, man. I love doing acoustic shows. I was telling somebody this the other day. I love the big stage shows, but the acoustic shows, they're more of I feel like a personal experience. That a more one-on-one situation, but man, that adrenaline gets to popping. So once you get 400 or 500 people plus singing songs back at you, so that it was definitely pretty cool.
How did you? It's been tough, I know, on all musicians during the past year, not having the ability to do what you just talked about, and that adrenaline, that experience, that rush that you get being on stage. What did you spend most of your time doing as far as the music portion of your life goes? Was it writing? Was it doing stuff on social media? Like what was 2020 into 21 like for Austin Bishop?
It was a learning experience for sure. I've been writing songs, for about 4 years now, 3 or 4 years, and I've got a lot to learn. But I've got a great circle that have invited me in. They've been in it for, I ain't gonna tell their age or nothing, but for a really long time, and they really helped me out to grow as an artist and as a writer. And that's one thing that I really tried to focus on was trying to find who I was as an artist in 2020. And I think that really helped my songwriting grow and the way I view music. I can't read music. Most of the stuff I learned playing guitar from YouTube videos. So
yeah.
So I started. I'm still very green, but I tried to grow as a guitar player too. I started learning music theory. So and a lot of people view 2020 as a bad time. And there's all kinds of shit going on. So you can make excuses, but at the end of the day, there's shows out there. I didn't quit playing shows, I wasn't sitting there, playing huge stages or nothing, but if you want to, I play where anybody lets me come in, be honest with you, man. I've been playing birthday parties, weddings, whatever, man. Anybody wants to hear comes. Yeah, anybody listening, y'all got a wedding or a party, y'all need to play, holler at your boy, because we'll take care of it.
Call him up.
But, anyways, yeah, just growing as an artist and as a person, man. I've started reading a lot more. And that's one thing that I never really did in college or high school. I just skated by and played football and, did what I did. But yeah, just growing as a person, as an individual, and as an artist, man. And I can see a change in not just my music, but myself. And I think that's huge. Just growing up and becoming a man. So 2020 was a really great year for me. I know there's a lot of hard stuff that happened to a bunch of people, and God bless them. But Shoot, 2020 was a great year for me. I mean, I miss being on stage. Don't get me wrong. And there were some things that I had lined up that fell through because of COVID. So that sucked. But at the same time, I'm a big Christian guy, and I believe everything happens for a reason, and God made all this happen. And I think for me, COVID happened to grow. So in a way, I'm kind of thankful because I could have went down roads, and I may not be talking to you right now. So you never know. You never know.
I think that takes to see the silver lining in a year like 2020 when when you look out and you do see the chaos and you kind of see the division and you see the kind of the craziness that was the year, but to be able to utilize that time productively to improve yourself, to improve your talent, to improve your art. I mean, it's great to have that kind of tap on the brakes that the year was for a lot of people. You kind of just tap the brakes, but you use that time to really expand your horizons. And do you feel like that is going to lead to really big things in 2021 and beyond, just because you had that time to grow and to improve and to kind of hone in on some of your skills?
You broke up a little bit right there. You said, do I feel like 2021 is going
Do
to
you feel
benefit from having that time off?
Yeah. Do you feel like your trajectory is going to go upward because you had the time to really work on you? Yeah.
For sure, for sure. Like I said, I mean, just having this year, off, quote unquote, it was huge. I feel like my songs are, a million times better. And like I like the way I wrote before. But being able to go on writers retreats with people that have been writing songs for 20 or 30 years, that have been in the industry, and like I said, blessed me with letting me just hang out. I went to one writers retreat and I had no clue what was about to happen. And I sat down with a couple of guys that have been writing songs for 20 or 30 years, and I pitched them one of the songs that I've been working on, and they loved it, and we tweaked it a little bit, and it showed me that kind of I did belong, because as artists, you go, especially 2020, and it was real easy to do this, man. I feel like, but when you go through dead periods, you go through slow times, and sometimes you feel like that you're not doing something right, or maybe I need to hang it up and go grab me a whistle, and go start coaching football and just enjoy being a teacher. But that I went on a writers retreat with the Wilson brothers, and there were like 20 other artists there, and that was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in my life. And all we were doing was chilling by the lake and writing songs and just fellowshipping. And it was cool to be able to, I guess, being so green, being welcomed in like that, and being shown love and appreciation for what I did. There, from where I'm from, there's probably in my county, there's probably 3, maybe 4 people that write their own songs and are really trying to do the music thing. And so I don't really get a lot of co-writes, a lot of co-writing time, because I'm working a full-time job, and I'm a family man, and so I don't really get to venture out, on a Tuesday and go write with somebody. So it was cool to be around professional writers and being able to mesh and actually work, not just sit there and watch, which is what I thought, what I had planned to do, but actually sit there and work. And I loved it, man. It was one, like I said, one of the coolest experiences I've ever had.
Well, that's awesome. And I love the being by the lake. I mean, that's got to be just an ideal place to write. I mean, tranquil, and you're kind of out amongst nature. And I mean, you guys, man, I'm picturing that around, like there's a fire going, and then there's the lake, and here's all these great writers just getting together and bouncing ideas off each other. That's I think that's how it should be done.
It was a beautiful place on Lake Martin.
Nice.
It's called Pace Place. I'm sure if you're friends with the Wilson brothers, or the Big Barn folks, they post about Pace Place all the time. And that's the first time I'd ever been there, but it's right inside a cove. And man, sunsets on there was awesome. 2 or 3 fire pits. I remember we got done writing. There was 2 writing sessions the day I got there, And after the first one, we took a lunch break, and which was about 30, 45 minutes, and then we broke into another group, and we had another session for about 2, 3 hours, and then we had dinner. Then after dinner, we kind of came together and we shared some of our own music, but some of the songs that we wrote, that day or that they had written the day before. And that was pretty cool. But then once we got done with that too, we all kind of sat around the campfire and hung out and really, I remember one of my favorite parts of the whole thing was I love to sing. I do a mashup of "Will the Circle Be Unbroken" and "I'll Fly Away," and I played at all my shows, and I sang it. I sang with those guys, and just to hear everybody, fellowshipping and jumping around and having a good time, man, that was pretty cool. But we actually got the cops called on us at about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning because we were singing "I'll Fly Away" at the top of our lungs, and somebody across the lake had heard us and called the cops.
See, that's the kind of experiences that you need to have in life. Like we are just doing fellowship. We're just singing, around the fire, and here comes Johnny Law down the road.
That's what we told the police officer. Man, we can't sing about Jesus. He's like, not at 3 o'clock in the morning. You can't.
Like, wait, is there a time limit? Like, when is it open? Like, when is it open
Right.
for singing, man? So having
a noise ordinance or something.
Oh yeah, I'm sure after 2:30, you gotta start whispering. Apparently,
well, we should have probably been in the bed anyway,
Yeah.
but we weren't. So
yeah, it happens. It happens to the best of us. I understand. So having a year to write and to have these kind of experiences, what does music look like for you in 2021? I see you got some dates on the calendar to get out and get back and doing some more shows and things like that. If anybody needs somebody to sing at their wedding, Austin Bishop Music on Facebook, get a hold of him or get a hold of Angie Gregory. But what are you looking at for 2021 as far as is there some new songs going to come out? Like, what is your plan as far as the year goes?
Well, that was kind of going back into 2020. I've got like 10 or 11 songs out now, and I love them, but I wanted to really concentrate on my writing for the past year and maybe for the next 3 or 4 months at least. I've got 4 or 5 songs that I would probably like to cut. I'm going to try to work with some folks and see if I can't get some new music out, but at the same time I'm not going to settle.
Right.
So if it's not absolutely what I want, then I'm not going to put it out. So we'll see. The shows are picking up for sure. I'm hoping in things, the crazy's not over, but I think everybody's getting fed up with the shit, and they're just saying, "Hey, let's go." So hopefully some bigger gigs are coming on. Man, I'm still doing acoustic stuff like that. My lead guitarist goes around with me, and we'll play acoustic sets at restaurants, bars, whatever. But we're staying pretty booked up, but I'm hoping the festivals and everything start to happen so we can really start diving into the bigger audiences. Because man, I like meeting new people. When we got done playing Creek Fest the other day, and my wife can tell you this, when I got done playing Creek Fest, I walked off stage, and I had to wait 2.5 hours to go pee because I didn't stop talking to people, and I love it, man. And it's not because I had to talk to people. It's because I wanted to. Anybody that comes up to my merch table when I'm there, man, I'll have a conversation. I want to know where you're from, what you do, why you love music, why you're here, why you listen to me, why you paying $20 for my hat and T-shirt. But, I love meeting new people, and it cracks my grandmama up because she says I'm just like my granddaddy because my granddaddy didn't know a stranger.
He loved everybody.
He'd go up and talk. Man, he did. He'd go up and talk to George at the gas station, put him in gas. Like, man, these gas pumps are moving pretty slow today. And he'll talk 20 minutes. Some dude he's never even met in his life. And I'm the same way. I love meeting new people and experience and fellowship because, listen, man, music has saved my life, no doubt. And not me playing music, but listening to music, just music in general. I don't just listen to country, man. I listen to rock. I grew up on AC/DC, Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, all that stuff, man. And then my grandmama listened to Patsy Cline and Elvis and the Gaithers and gospel music. And I grew up and in high school, I would listen to rap and everything. So, and today I still do. So I love, all genres of music. It's just depending on what mood I'm in. But there, there's been some dark times in my life that music's really helped me through, and I appreciate that. And that's what I try to put into a lot of my songs, man. I write about some of the experiences that I have had in my life, and just hoping that somebody out there hears it that may be going through some of the things that I did. My early childhood was pretty rough, and I went through some things that I wouldn't put on nobody. But at the same time, I don't dwell on them because that made me who I was.
Right.
And I want people to know that no matter how bad it is, you can do it, because I'm trying to do it. Right. There's a reason I'm on your podcast today.
Yeah.
When I should probably be, statistically speaking, I should probably be in jail or 6 feet under.
Right.
So there's just, God's good, man. God's good, and if we don't appreciate the rain, we'll never appreciate the sunshine. And that's the way I try to look at every day. We're worried about the weather here at the beach. Last week, it was supposed to be sunny and 75 all week, but then 3 days before we left, it's gonna rain all week. And past 2 days, man, we've had really good weather. It's been kind of overcast, but the sun's been shining, and my feet even got a little sunburnt, but I put suntan lotion on this whole bald head, so we have to worry about that. But man, you gotta learn and grow from experience. That's just life. I had a tough childhood up until the point, my grandparents took me in and started raising me. I was very blessed. God was good to me by having them take me and make me who I am. But man, just being a special education teacher and seeing some of the stuff these kids go through, golly, man, it tears you up, and it makes you very grateful for the things that you have, because there's somebody out there that's got it worse than you. And if you can, and it cracks me up because these people are talking about, they got it so bad, and they don't get the breaks, but they're walking around with a $600 iPhone in their pocket.
Right.
And there's a kid in my classroom that can't afford a pair of socks. So I'm blessed, man. I'm very blessed, and I'm very thankful for the people that have helped me out. I didn't do it alone. I work my ass off, don't get me wrong, but I think anybody that has some kind of success, they've had help some way, form, or the other. And like I said, man, every day's a new challenge, but every day is a blessing, because that day could be your last one. And somebody's always got it worse, so just be thankful for what you got.
No, man, I think that gratitude is something that I can feel pouring through the screen in talking to you, that you have so much gratitude. I think that even goes back to when you talked about talking to everybody, waiting 2.5 hours to go pee because you wanted to have those moments talking to people, because you do have gratitude for those who watched you play, watched you perform your art, and then bought a T-shirt, bought a hat, supported your career. I did radio for over 20 years. I met a ton of artists from all different genres, all different walks of life, and I always would say the ones that I saw at the merch booth that weren't just there or signing something and then kind of took the picture and pushed you out of the way, the ones that were actually having conversations with their fans or growing their fan base, one person at a time, those artists to me always felt more real, more tangible, more approachable. And I think that reflects onto not just those moments on after the show or before the show, but during the show, because all of a sudden you have this connection, not just with the music, but you have this like, hey, that guy took, he just got done doing a set, walked off the stage, walked over to the table and took time out to have a conversation, ask me what I did for a living. Like, that dude cares. Now that person is probably going to follow your show. They're going to share your show. You're going to release a song and they're going to share that song. I mean, it's all this old school yet new school organic building of sharing your music with people, because people get touched by that. People want to know that they're not just paying their money to walk in to see somebody that's you have to stay away from, and then after the show you don't see him. They want to be like, well, Austin Bishop, I remember I met him at Talladega, and we sat there, we talked for 5 minutes. It looked like he had to pee, but he was like he was super nice about everything.
He had
like,
to pee, and he was hungry.
And the man wanted a sandwich. But you taking the time out, I mean, that goes to show gratitude, which goes on to all the other points you talked about, is being super grateful for everybody that's been there for you and that continues to be there for you along the way, for the hard work, for sunny days on the beach when you have a chance to enjoy it, for suntan lotion, for all the things. I mean, just showing gratitude is really, like I've always said, it's the key. Waking up and saying, "Whew, thank you. I'm glad that I made it another day."
Got another one.
Got another one.
Got another one.
Let's try not to screw this one up. We're gonna make this one the best we can be. But no, man, gratitude, super huge, and I can feel that coming from you and from your music, and even just talking to you right now that you're super thankful for all that you have and all that's coming, and to be super focused during COVID and during all the BS and all that stuff, but to be like, hey, during this time, I'm just going to make myself better. I'm going to pick up some books. I'm going to read some stuff, and I'm going to go on writer sessions, and I'm going to become a better human and a better artist. I mean, dude, super love what you got going on, man. Super love it.
I appreciate it, brother. I'm a firm believer that good things happen to good people, and I'm not great, but I try every day, to be the best person I can be, and to love the guy next to me like a brother, and like I said, man, I've been blessed, but going back to the show thing, man, it somebody that pays $20 for a shirt. Because let me tell you something, I have a hard time paying $20 for a shirt.
Yeah, I hear you.
And if they'll pay $20 for my shirt or my hat, then either A, they really liked my music and they're trying to support me, or B, they think that's a really cool looking shirt and it's got my name on it. So, and they're spending their hard-earned money on me. That's the thing. Even if they don't buy my shirt, just buying a ticket. And I did my own concert back in 2019. We threw down in a cow pasture.
Nice.
We set up a stage, and got lights and sound out there, and we had about I think there was a little over 600 people there.
Nice.
And they paid for that ticket to come see me. And they could have done anything else on a Saturday they wanted to. They could have spent that $20 on anything else, but they spent that $20 on a ticket to come to my concert. And man, that's awesome. That's awesome. You've got to appreciate that. And it, like you said, it's crazy to me that there are some artists that won't even go to their merch table. That won't speak to fans. And man, don't get me wrong. Now there are times, and I somewhat get it, because there are some weird people out there, but it does get tiring because there are so many people, and I find myself sometimes getting messages from people, and it taking me 3 days to a week to message back, just because I'm not saying I'm getting bombarded with fan mail or anything, but it's hard. And somebody that's on like a Chris Stapleton or something like that, it's damn near impossible to get with everybody. But a show, 15, 20 minutes on top of people paying for like VIP passes and stuff like that, you can give 20 minutes to somebody come, because they come to see you, man. And just me personally, it means a lot to me. It does. So I'll get off my soapbox.
No, I think you're right. I think there is even at any level, I think you still have to have that gratitude. I think when you lose sight of it, I don't want to say things can tend to go awry, but if you're like, it's, I got to go and do a show today. Like if you get to that point, like maybe it's time for career change. You know, like appreciate the fact that
for
you
sure.
still get up to go and play music every day, and the fans that are there buying tickets, getting the VIP passes, joining the fan club, all the stuff. There again, you said hard-earned money. That these people are giving it to you to support your lifestyle and your life. Like, go, hey, thanks. I really appreciate that, because otherwise I'd be cleaning tables somewhere.
For sure, for sure. No, man. When I did that, the light bulb clicked off. I watched. Dude, you had who was it? Sean? It's Sean Whalen.
Sean Whalen, yeah, Lions Not Sheep.
Dude,
Yeah, my man.
badass on
Dude.
your podcast, man. That's a badass dude. That was a really cool podcast. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah,
For sure. When I seen that, I was like, okay, all right. Well, I'm stepping up in the world then. I'm getting on in there.
dude, that's the same thing I thought when he agreed to it. I was like, oh, really?
Nah, stop it.
I was like,
I'm just a
sure?
dude. I'm just a dude from
No,
Northeast
man.
Alabama, man. I ain't.
Piedmont, Alabama's finest, man. Come on now. No, but the Sean Whalen there is a guy, and I talked to him about this same thing. We talked about gratitude. It was like, as hard as he works and as much as he's attained in life, like he still gets up every day and goes, "Oh, I'm pretty thankful. I'm pretty thankful that I'm here and that I do all the things." If you're looking for a great read, I just started reading his book, How to Make Shit Happen. Go get yourself. It's a fantastic book. About a quarter of the way through, and great points on there. But it all goes back to gratitude. Even guys that are, I mean, here's a dude that I just was like, hey, I love what your message is, and I would love to talk to you about it. And he was like, cool, let me know when. I'm like, oh shit, really? Okay, I guess we'll chat. That'd be cool. But
Yeah.
but no,
sure.
it was great chat with him and with you too, man. I think that there's when you can feel the gratitude for what you've been blessed with, to be able to, be in college and borrow your roommate's guitar and borrow some of that student loan money to get your own. I mean, it's stories like that are like wow, that's the origin story. That's where it began, and then to see where it is now, and I can't wait to see where it's going to be at the end of this year and in the future, man. I appreciate the time and taking a break from your vacation to jump on here and chat.
Yeah, brother.
I hope we can get you back on soon.
One more thing. I noticed that you have a mighty nice beard hanging from that chin. That is a good looking beard. Mine used to be a little bit longer, but my wife told me I had to cut it down, so I trimmed it up a little bit. But it did get thicker. So
I just
do you have your own beard products that I
do.
hear you talking to somebody about?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Captain Coop's Beard Company. I'll shoot you an email and I'll get you some stuff sent out, man. Captain Coop's is my.
Yeah, I'm always
my
looking
stuff.
for some new fertilizer for this bad boy.
Yeah, that's the jam. I actually just got this one this trimmed up. It was like I did like 4 inches off, man. It got to be like, and I'm 6 foot, but I'm kind of a slender guy. It just looked like a couple of eyes and just like Cousin It, like reversed though. And my girlfriend's like, we need to just have a little separation of church and state here. Just like we need to know where the neck starts. But yeah, man, I'll send you some stuff. Captain Coops, we'll get you all set up, brother.
I appreciate you having me on, man. I really do.
No, Austin, man, I appreciate you taking some time out. Go enjoy the rest of your vacation and best of luck. We'll get you back on here sometime soon, though, my friend.
All right, brother. Sounds good.
Awesome, man. Take care of yourself. There we go. Austin Bishop on the show. See, you got that. Gonna send him some Captain Coops. It's that Captain Coops stuff right there.